Viral hip-hop revolution.
What's good? What up? It's your boy Sam Ant here at Viral Hip-Hop News. Do me a favor, family, before we get started with the content. Y'all know what to do. Go up top and hit that like button. Alright, so often the argument of the greatest rapper of all times, they pretty much have the same names involved. You have your Biggies, your Tupac, your Jay-Z, your Nas, your Eminems, your Andre 3 Stacks. These names seem to resonate throughout the greatest rapper of all time argument when you hear it, but I have an argument of my own to claim one rapper in particular is very underrated and maybe even more or on top of the greatest rapper of all time than his counterpart. That person would be Big Boi. Now, thanks to almost a decade's worth of adventurous solo work, the ill-informed perception of Big Boi as a skilled rapper who was uninventive and mostly coasted on the achievement of 3 stacks has definitely been disproven. But even during his tenure in Outkast, Daddy Fat Sacks was doing things most rappers either couldn't or wouldn't, while still staying more earthbound and tied to rap's history than his skyward-gazing counterpart 3 Stacks. And even beyond that, in my opinion, Big Boi even out-rapped Andre 3 Stacks every so often. Now, to view it one way, Big Boi didn't need all of Andre's glitz and conversation-starting exploits to pull off his own weight in the best rap duo of all time. He achieved greatness by more standard means, and despite that rendering him a bit less influential than Andre 3 Stacks, it suggests that Big Boi would have succeeded in any circumstances, region, or era. His talent is 100% gimmick-less. Now that's the reason why the vaunted NY lyricists like your Jay-Z's, your Slick Ricks, and your Raekwons were quick to co-sign on Big Boi. His narrative-heavy style was similar to their own. In an era when the South was still fighting for recognition from the rest of rap, he was one of the first Southern rappers to make such clear inroads with established stars from the hip-hop's birthplace, NYC. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I know he brought Raekwon on one of Outkast's first albums. He was on that joint, and I know that Jay-Z had him and Killer Mike on the Blueprint 2's Poppin' Tags, and then Jay-Z went on, jump on a feature with Big Boi and was on Speakerbox's, the album Speakerbox Flop Rock, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, he was definitely heavy Big Boi within the New York culture early on. You know what I mean? To just where Southern rappers you didn't see often on that type of level. He was definitely on it. So he was respected throughout the game worldwide. Now, rappers from a more traditional lineage saw something of themselves in Big Boi's ability to create scenes and relay street tales. Due to their interest, you could argue that Big Boi did far more than Andre to make sure that the rest of hip-hop knew that the South had something to say. Now, Big Boi was the first Outkast member to drop solo material with a 2-track run in the middle of Aquemini, and then along with Speakerbox, these tracks suggested that his vision was more straightforward and hip-hop centric than Andre's increasingly jazzy, psychedelic intentions. But since the duo's dissolution, Big Boi's let his fondness for other genres show through. He featured rock band Von Get on Sir Lucius Left Foot, indie artist Little Dragon, and Waves on Vicious Lies and Dangerous Rumors, and even formed a group Big Grams with the electro-pop duo Phanogram. Now, while he also got more adventurous within hip-hop during this span, it's these collaborations with the indie world that have simultaneously expanded Big Boi's reach and watered down his legacy. And that's in a lot of people's opinion. That's certainly not my own. I definitely have my own view. I will give that perspective as well. Like on the tracks Decatur Song, West Savannah, and Spotty Oddie Dopalicious, Big Boi illustrated stories with painstaking detail recounting run-ins with the law, his upbringing, and the encounter with a woman who moved like a brown stallion horse with skates on, respectively. Now, beyond his flow and wordplay, which were always tight and impeccable, it was his ability to paint pictures with just a few that separated him from the entire South, in my opinion. So why doesn't Big Boi get the credit he deserves? I mean, I really can't tell you that. Andre 3 Stacks did a dope interview with GQ Magazine that I actually dropped a couple weeks ago. I'll leave the card up top right now. Y'all can check that out. It's real dope. Where he even admitted that Big Boi was better than he was. Now, I'm definitely an Outkast fan. I'm not sitting here trying to cast or trying to start any drama between the two rap artists, but I raised the question, who was the better artist? Who would you rather pick a CD from if you had the choice between an Andre 3 Stacks CD and a Big Boi CD? Who would you choose? I mean, and it's definitely, the comment section definitely favored heavy Andre 3 Stacks, but the argument for Big Boi was definitely a strong argument. And I went on to say a couple times on a couple platforms that the recent album of Big Boi, Boomiverse, that dropped earlier in 2017, was one of the top 3 albums, in my opinion, this year. Now, you had J. Cole drop his album, you had Kendrick drop his, you had Meek drop his, you had Ross drop his, you had Jay-Z drop his. I mean, the list goes on and on. You had the Young Boys drop theirs, Vic Mensa. I think a couple other people dropped their albums. The list goes on and on. And I'm telling you right now, the Boomiverse album is top 3. That brother's dropping gems on there like no other. I'm an East Coast cat. I was born and raised on New York sound, so the New York sound and the New York hip-hop is definitely influential on me, Philly hip-hop as well. So for a rapper like Big Boi to come out of the South Atlanta and represent the way he did in Outkast and the solo albums definitely caught my attention. Now, Andre 3 Stacks is one of the greatest of all time. There's no doubt about that. But I raised the argument simply because, to keep it 100, Big Boi is the only one in Outkast to drop a solo album. We've long awaited Andre 3 Stacks' solo album. He hinted on it in the GQ interview that this is something that he definitely wanted to do, but in fairness, Big Boi stepped out and he did it, and every album that he dropped was a goddamn dope one. So that's my take on it. Y'all leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think of my argument, as well if this Big Boi is in or deserves to be in the top 5. Did he surpass, based off the body of work, his Outkast legend counterpart, Andre 3 Stacks? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Also, in the description box, you'll see links to our Twitter as well as our homepage. Make sure you click those links to subscribe. Always like, share, and please leave a comment in the comment section. Until next time, we are out of here. This is Viral Hip Hop News. Peace.
Oh, what a wonderful feeling. What a feeling to be one. What a feeling to be. Oh, what a wonderful feeling. Nigga, we made it. What a feeling to be winning. Fuck y'all. What a feeling to be. What a feeling to be.